Hi, good morning, Drive Radio fans. Today I'm John Rush, your host, along with Richard Rush, my son. He's behind the camera today, so we flip-flopped our roles a little bit today. So we've got for you today the 2014 Lexus GS350 all-wheel drive version of the 350, and also has the FSport package, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. But great car. We'll walk around it, show you the outside, take a little test drive, show you the driving features of it, and then we'll finish it up just like we've been doing. We hope you like that format that we changed a couple of reviews ago, where we can actually give you some driving as we take a drive in. You can actually see what that looks like from inside the driver's seat and inside the cabin. But let's take a walk around, and Richard, if you would, follow me around. We'll kind of show you a little bit about it. So the FSport package, just so you all know, includes, there's some badging on it. You see this spoiler that's on the trunk lid. That's part of the FSport. You see that right here. Special wheels. So it's got kind of a shadow look wheel to it, if you would, a smoke anodized wheel, which really adds to the look of the car. And really, Drive Radio fans, nothing better than a black car, especially when it's clean. We just got done washing this car, and you can see the black cars are just beautiful. This car has some really nice subtle lines. You can see it's got a nice line going right down the upper part of the body here. It's subtle, but really looks nice. The GS350 is a very good looking car. We've had comments on this car, even from some folks that have owned Lexuses. I talked to a family the other day that actually owns Lexuses, has for many years, and they talked about how, the 350 has always been kind of what they consider to be an old guy car. And so I think Richard, even my younger son, driving this car, I think you'll find that driving this GS350, especially the FSport, this is not an old guy car. It works fantastic, runs really well. I love the look of the dual exhaust coming out the back. It's the 3.5 liter engine, works extremely well, plenty of horsepower, drives fantastic. The handling of the car is great. Again, this is just a great all-around, what I would consider to be a high-performance sedan. I know a lot of people wouldn't consider the GS350 a high-performance sedan, but this car works really well. Competes well with the European models that it's competing with, and it's a great car. And again, I want to show Richard again real quick in the back here. Let's go back and look at these taillights. I talked about this on some of the other cars that you're seeing from the Toyota family. Little subtle things that they do. The fluting on these lights is not for looks. This again is to help with the fuel economy. So again, Toyota does some great things to help with fuel economy. Toyota also, owning Lexus, so this isn't a Toyota, it is a Lexus, and it's the high-end version in the Toyota family. It's their luxury brand, and Lexus has done a fantastic job. Great car. But Richard, let's go for a drive here. We'll come back. We'll talk about the insides, but right now we're going to go to the driving portion of it, and stay tuned. All right, fans, we're now in the driving portion of our GS350 FSport all-wheel drive. Before we get going, one feature we wanted to show you, and we're bad about this. I'm sorry. I don't use this feature a lot. I know a lot of you will, so we need to start showing it more. But Richard, show them real quick on the screen. When I go to reverse and I go to backup, I'm just used to doing everything by the mirrors. I'm old school. But in this case, you can actually see where you're backing up by where the lines are at. So as I'm backing up, if I was going to go over here, for example, and parallel park on this other side of the street without even looking, I can actually see where I'm at. I can see where the curb lines are at, and without even turning around and looking, I can pull right in there and know I'm exactly where I need to be. In this case, I'm about 2 feet from the curb, and but that's that side of it. So put it in drive, and away we go, and we're going to go on our usual course here. I'll try to hit some of the bigger bumps, which is that, and you'll see that by driving this car, you'll see how smooth it really is. And I will put this back in the normal mode, which we're in. So let's go back to, actually we'll go to eco mode. Let's do that, and we'll kind of show how that works on the eco side. It's hard to do anything as far as hard acceleration where we're actually driving today. In some of these future reviews too, as we get into the summer months here in Colorado, we'll take you up in the mountains and show you some of our beautiful scenery that we have here, and do some mountain driving on different cars. And so stay tuned. We don't want you to miss out on anything. Continue to watch us. But again, the F350 FSport, or sorry, GS350 FSport, make sure I say that correctly. Fantastic car. Really enjoy it. This is a hard car for me to give back. In fact, this is a car I would highly recommend owning, especially if you're, not necessarily even my age, but if you're looking for a great 4-person family type sedan, fantastic vehicle. I've averaged about 22 miles to the gallon in this car pretty routinely, and it's a great car to drive, a lot of fun. This FSport package, by the way, we talked about on the radio show just this past week. Is that a package I would recommend buying, and will you get that back on the other side of things when you go to resell the car? Our feeling on it is yes. It sets this car apart enough from some of its competition and what you're going to see in the marketplace that when you go to sell this car, whenever it is, it might be 2 years down the road or 10 years down the road, we feel like the FSport package, even though, Richard, what's the price of the FSport?
The FSport package itself is about $5,700, and the total price with options on this car is just under $60,000, about $58,950, and with no options on it, without the FSport, you're at just under $50,000. So by adding the FSport, you're putting this car over $55,000, which we would highly recommend to do, because I mean, Isaac, our other host on Drive Radio, mentioned that it just sets this car that much more apart with the wheels, with the badging, everything helps this car to have a distinct advantage.
That's exactly right, and we agree with that wholeheartedly. So by the time you amortize that out over the course of time, owning it, you're going to get that value back out of it. But this is a great vehicle. We've really enjoyed it. Again, we're going to finish up the review, so don't go away. We're going to be right back here, so stay tuned. All right, so we're now back on Richard's on the passenger side. I'm in the driver's seat still. We're going to show you some of the Intune system and some of the things that you can do as far as controlling HVAC and all those different things. But quickly, Richard, why don't you show on the dash? They've, again, nice layout of the dash. They've done a really nice job. Everything's easy to reach. You can see I'm not stretching my arm out to get to the select button for the tuning of the radio. All of your HVAC controls, which are dual, by the way, passenger and driver. Richard was noting earlier to me as we were driving over, these buttons down here for the seat, heaters, and cooling can also be set to auto, which then correlate to whatever the HVAC settings are for driver and passenger. Let's talk about for just a second this particular Intune system. This is one of our favorite systems. Richard, quickly show them the button that I used to actually control this. So kind of move back down here. Everything on a Lexus, and this is with certain models. I think the only one that doesn't have this is their big SUV, but the rest of them have got this joystick type of a system. So you move around up on the dash, which you'll see me doing in a minute, all with this button, and it's kind of trained to lock into a particular area, and you just heard that beep. So when I get in a particular area, it kind of has a notch, if you would. It's not really a notch, but you can feel it be a notch, and you know that's where you're at. And if you want to do something, you just push down. You want to go back to the menu or scroll up and down, those buttons do that. But the majority of it, the nice thing is it's right where your hand sits as you're driving. And so if you want to go to, say, for example, we just click the menu button and we can go to the full menu. So if we want to go to the climate, for example, I just click that. The climate's up. You can see where the settings are at. I can change where I want it to go to the head, bi-level, or down on the floor. I can turn on the defrosters. I can change fan speed up or down just by clicking over here. I can tell it I want it to be dual or not, which means then it's set individually. So if I want to change the passenger side to be a little cooler than the driver's side, I can. And all that's controlled right out of this joystick. If I want to go back, I just move back, go to, for example, the setup screen or the radio. Media would be your cell phone or your Bluetooth device. If you want to hook up your Bluetooth phone, that's all available. But anyways, very, very nice way of doing things. I love this system. This is one of my favorite systems because it's intuitive, it's easy to use. It also, you can use voice commands if you want, but you'll find yourself with this joystick not having to do much voice command because it's so intuitive. You just kind of naturally know where you're going. You can look right out as you're driving. You just glance over, see what you need to do. You're not taking your eyes off the road to do so. I love this system. This is by far our favorite system. This car also has the ability with an all-wheel drive to have an eco mode. You can push it for normal. I don't know that I ever even used the sport mode this last week. I shouldn't testify to that. Richard, you probably did, didn't you?
I did, and it works. And the FSport has that sport and that S Plus mode as well, and you can actually, and if you actually want to show it, so if you click it over, and go to it, you can tell you, and then if you click one more, it shows you what it actually changes in the sport S Plus mode, which is nice. And I will take note that when you do anything, it goes to that dual screen, which is very nice because you can customize it. So Dad, if you went to the map, for example, let's just say, if you went to the map, you can still see the map, and then you can still see your radio. So you can make adjustments to anything while viewing whatever, and you can customize which screen is both. But no, the Sport, the S Plus mode, and the Eco mode all work tremendously well.
Yeah, that's, again, great system. Love this car. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Stay tuned to more reviews. We do these on a weekly basis, as you can see from loading up now on our YouTube channel. Also, check out our webpage, drive-radio.com. And by all means, listen to our show. If you're just watching these videos, I would encourage you, listen to our weekly program. We talk a lot about new cars, old cars. We have a call-in talk show where anything you want to know about the automotive industry, your particular car, your situation, what to buy, what to fix, maybe you've got a light on or a noise, I encourage you, tune into Drive Radio. We're on KLZ AM 560 The Source every single week, 10 to 1, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. We're also rebroadcast again on Sundays, and you can catch all of our shows, our podcast, right on our website, drive-radio.com. But we hope you're enjoying this. Stay tuned for more Drive Radio. I'm your host, John Rush.